And we are live, folks. FTN Fantasy, Mike Randle here at Randle Rant. We bring you the heat every Sunday night. We go through each and every one of the games, fantasy football perspective. Who do we like? Who didn't we like? And cover everything you need to know. 15 minutes or less. We got some bye weeks today, so it should be pretty fast. If you have questions, put them in the chat. I will get to them at the end. Here we go. Rapid fire. Week 5 was a great week 5 around the NFL. First up, Jets 31, Broncos 21. Zach Wilson, 19 to 26, 199 interception. Breece Hall, a monster game, 177 yards on the ground. Tyler Conklin showed up for those who drafted him late round in best ball drafts, 4 for 67. Garrett Wilson, 3 for 54. It was a big win for the Jets. Came through on the road. Got a win against a Broncos offense that looks completely lost. Sean Payton looks like an idiot, making fun of Nathaniel Hackett. Everything that went on there. Russell Wilson struggled in this game. Now listen, Jets defense is good. Here's my problem. Either Russell Wilson has turned into a must-see-it to throw it guy, or his receivers can't get open, or it's both. This was very rough. Russ, 12 of 31, 20 of 31, 196, 49 rushing yards, 2 TDs, a fumble lost. The only people he was hitting on a regular basis was Jaleel McLaughlin and Samaje Perine and Adam Troutman. No Judy, no Sutton, no Mims, no bueno. McLaughlin, 9 for 68, 3 for 21, a touchdown. Looked fantastic, had a lot of burst. Samaje Perine, 6 for 22, 4 for 73 late. He got a lot of receptions late. Jerry Jeudy, 6 for 50, struggled to get open, got a lot of that with the fourth quarter, about midway through the fourth quarter rather. Adam Troutman, 4 for 26 and a touchdown, actually showed up. He's one of those tight ends that is always on the field like Durham Smythe in Miami, yet he rarely produces. Next game, Bengals 34, Cardinals 20. Joe Burrow, big game. We were waiting for the Joe Burrow game, and it happened. He looked healthy. He was rushing. He looked strong. Now, can they carry this over to next week? That's the question, but he certainly looked better than he's looked all season. 36 of 46, 317, 3 TDs, interception. Joe Mixon grinding away. He is one of those fantasy backs that you just need the touchdown because he gets the volume. He's always on the field. There are no other backup running backs in the situation. He's just struggling to get big production. You know that 50-point game is coming, though, just like it was last year. Jamar Chase, phenomenal. 15, 192, and 3 on 19 targets. One of my leagues, I went against DJ Moore, had Chase, was able to get the W and overcome that big DJ Moore night on Thursday. Irwin as well, 8 for 60, did a nice job. No T. Higgins in this game. On the other side, Dobbs came back down to earth here. Joshua Dobbs just was one of those games that got away from him. 15 of 32, 166, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and a fumble lost. And what did not help Dobbs is that James Conner left this game early with an injury. 6 for 46 right off the bat. That's a robust almost 8 yards per carry, but he's injured. We have to see what's going to happen. Dermacado came in 10 of 45 and 1. He was effective. Could be the guy you want to pick up here, but the problem is with Connor not there, it had to rely on Dobbs, and that really where he struggled because, again, Joshua Dobbs is a backup quarterback who's been playing very well, but if you take the Jenga piece Connor out, it's going to hurt him. Marquise Brown found the end zone, 4 for 61 and 1. He was a sub 5,000 or right around 5,000 DFS play, scored a touchdown there. Rondell Moore, 3 for 50 and 3 for 26 in terms of receiving as well, had 50 yards rushing. Zach Ertz, 2 for 10, but did get the touchdown there. Steelers 17, Ravens 10, a disgusting game. If you watch this game, it was a grind out. It was an under game. If you hit it, I got it here at FTN Bets. Kenny Pickett, 18 of 32, 224, did not look good. He's skittish. He gets out of the pocket. He starts running out of the pocket at the first sign of pressure, but he did hang in there and make the play he had to make, a deep pass to Pickens, who was fantastic in this game, 6 for 130 and 1. George Pickens was outstanding. Jaylen Warren also huge in this game, 9 for 40. Again, got a lot of those third down sort of shotgun formation handoffs, but he did a lot with it. Looked elusive, 9 for 43 for 39. Najee Harris, if you're going to go against a team that has good run defense, Najee Harris is not going to produce because he is not going to get the 5 or 6 receptions that he got when he had 70-plus receptions as a rookie. That is Jaylen Warren's role. So you need to be able to run the ball. If you don't think the Steelers can run the ball against a particular opponent, you can't play Najee Harris. But once they start getting this offensive line going, Harris is going to get the goal line touches. He's going to get the work. The problem is right now they can't run the ball at all, so Warren is out producing him. On the other side, Lamar Jackson. Folks, can we talk about Lamar Jackson for a second? We heard about Todd Monken's offense. We heard about all the passing that's going on. This offense is concerning me. Lamar Jackson cannot put up passing production. 22 of 38, 236, 45 on the ground, fumble lost, interception, no touchdowns. Gus Edwards, 12 for 48. Justice Hill looks phenomenal. Every time Justice Hill touches the ball, he looks great. 7 for 32, 4 for 13, and a touchdown. Zay Flowers, most solid receiver, he has 5 for 73. Bateman had drops all over the place. I'm done with Rashad Bateman. Mark Andrews, 6 for 65. The problem with Jackson is the passing production is not there. And all we heard about in the offseason is how explosive this offense is going to be. It has not been explosive. If Jackson doesn't get 50 yards on the ground and run one in, he's not getting the production. Stop ranking Lamar Jackson as a top 5 quarterback. It's just not happening. Eagles 23, Rams 14. Nice win here for the Eagles. Hurts 25 of 38, 303, 72 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, interception. Swift 17 for 70. DeAndre Swift is definitely the lead back in this offense right now. I don't know how long it's going to last, but for now it has been 6 of 38 also through the air. A.J. Brown, phenomenal as always, 6 for 126, and it was the Dallas Goedert game. For all of us who drafted Dallas Goedert late and wanted the big Dallas Goedert game, we got it. 8 for 117 and 1. He was a monster. Hopefully that continues. And what does that mean? It means Devonta Smith is not going to be producing 1 reception for 6 yards. So if you want production, you're going to have Hurts running, you're going to have Swift running, you're going to have A.J. Brown receiving, and you're going to have Goddard or you're going to have Smith. Not going to have both because I'd have to put up 50 points for all of them to be fantasy relevant. Other side, Matthew Stafford, 21 of 36, 222, 2 touchdowns. Kyron Williams, okay, but the Eagles have a tremendous run defense, even better statistically in DVOA than the Titans. 1353, Cooper Kupp came back. Hello, 8 for 118. Puka Nacua going nowhere. 7 for 71 and 1. Even Tutu Atwell caught a touchdown there on just 9 receiving yards. The odd man out, Van Jefferson and Tyler Higbee, only 2 receptions as well. Bears 20, Commanders. That should be Bears. 40, Commanders 20 here from Thursday. Fields, massive game, 4 touchdowns. Khalil Herbert got hurt. You have to check to see. Roshan Johnson also left with a concussion. DJ Moore, the monster game, 8 for 230 and 3. Cole Kmet, 5 for 42 and 1. And Sam Howell. Sam Howell is fine. If you give him time, he's fine. But they had a fumble lost by Logan Thomas, which was a terrible one here. Howell throws for 388, 2 touchdowns, interception. He's getting sacked left and right. If you give Sam Howell time, he's going to be fine. Brian Robinson, not the matchup for him. Struggled here against the Bears, which was odd, but they were a terrible run defense, but he struggled. Samuel, 6 for 65. Terry McLaurin, 449. What I'll tell you about Jahan Dotson is this. It is very clear. When they made the run and they were down by 20 points and they had to try to come back here, what Howell was doing was hitting the open man. This is not McLaurin and Dotson 1 and 1A. It is Samuel. It is Logan Thomas. It is Antonio Gibson. Enough. Drop Jahan Dotson. It's not working. We liked him in the preseason. I liked him as well. It's not working. He is not getting consistent targets. He's sort of a scat guy out of the backfield, short, intermediate route. That's what they're using him as. He is not a big-time receiver, and he's not in this offense right now. Jaguars 25, Bills 20 over in London. Trevor Lawrence 25, 37, 315. Not a lot of touchdowns. We're waiting for the 3-4 touchdown game from Trevor Lawrence. It hasn't happened yet, but he's doing a decent job. Also 31 rushing yards. He's rushing a lot, so check those props every Sunday. Travis Etienne 26 for 136 and 4 for 48. A monster game for Travis Etienne. We were waiting for that. Remember, the Jaguars stayed in London all week long after last week's victory of the Falcons. Looks like it helped him. Calvin Ridley, 7 for 122. First good game he's had since week 1. Christian Kirk, solid. He's the most consistent receiver in this Jaguars attack. 6 for 78. And Zay Jones came back 3 for 23 and a touchdown. He was out with an injury. Nice to get a touchdown here. Other side, Josh Allen, 27 of 43, 59, 3 touchdowns, an interception. James Cook, not his game, not his matchup. The Jaguars do have a very good run defense. It's underrated. Bills, jet lag, London, just didn't happen. James Cook, 5 rushes, -4 yards, 3 for 25, just wasn't his game. He'll be fine. Stephon Diggs, 8 for 121, got a late TD, had a fumble loss, though, which hurt them. Gabe Davis, 6 for 100 and a touchdown. Falcons 21, Texas 19. Very exciting game. Desmond Ridder. If you have Desmond Ridder in best ball, you're very happy today. 28 of 37, 329, 2 touchdowns. Bijan Robinson, not his day. 14 for 46. He did have a reception and a touchdown, by the way, and a fumble loss. So he did have a reception there, got the touchdown. It was a great one-handed touchdown, but it was not his game today. Kyle Pitts, 7 for 87. Jonnu Smith, 6 for 78. Drake London, 6 for 78. This is what I will tell you. Desmond Ridder is a short to intermediate passer. He is not going to be hitting Drake London a lot. And while Kyle Pitts' game is good, I'm also worried about Kyle Pitts moving forward because Jonnu Smith is going nowhere. If Jonnu Smith didn't have that fumble, I think he would have had more production here than Kyle Pitts. So you can tell that those are the players that Ridder is going to hit consistently. CJ Stroud, 20 of 35, 249, and a huge touchdown. Drove the team all the way back down the field with under a minute left to put them up, but then the defense gave it back, and Koo hit a nice field goal to win the game for the Falcons. Pierce, like Mixon, getting the volume, not getting the production, 20 for 66. Devin Singletary, not an issue here. Dalton Schultz with another nice game, 7 for 65 and 1. He's a solid tight end play at a shallow tight end position. Tank Dell, 357. He was injured. Nico Collins, 3,439. Moving on. Yep. Here's a nice comment here. Whoever was versus McCaffrey this week was blessed, right? Because he didn't have a fantastic game. Go figure. But I don't think that's going to happen very often, to be honest. Lions 42, Panthers 24. Jared Goff 20 of 28, 236, 4 touchdowns. Really, really good game for Jared Goff, who was playing without Jahmyr Gibbs and without Amon-Ra St. Brown. This is impressive. I know it's the Panthers, but still impressive. David Montgomery, 19 for 109 and 1. He looked like he was going to have a monster game, got a touchdown early, but sort of slowed down late. Craig Reynolds even got in the backup because they were blowing them out, 752 and 1. Josh Reynolds, 4 for 76 and 1. He came to this game questionable with a groin injury, had a questionable designation on Friday, still produced really well. When Amon-Ra comes back and as Jamison Williams gets acclimated, I don't know how much Josh Reynolds is going to do, but certainly he's been very, very solid. Sam Laporta, 342, 2 touchdowns there, which will get him as a top 5 tight end this week, even though he only had 3 receptions. Bryce Young getting there, 25 and 41, 247, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He did have 3 touchdowns, but it was late and it was garbage time, but still, he's got to get to the point where he's comfortable throwing the ball down the field. They should have beat the Saints on the game that they played. I think it was a Thursday night. They should have beat them there. Maybe it was a Monday night. Should have beat him in that game, but Bryce Young couldn't throw down the field. Adam Thielen, death taxes, and Adam Thielen, 11 for 107 and 1. Really solid game. He usually does well with Dalton. He did well with Bryce Young here. DJ Chark caught a touchdown as well. Colts 23, Titans 16. Look, I think the Colts win this game because Anthony Richardson got hurt. Richardson is not a great passer. The Titans prepped all week to defend Richardson. They were doing well. Then Gardner Minshew comes in. Gardner Minshew, 11 of 14 for 155. Richardson, 9 of 12 for 98. But it was a different type of player when Minshew comes in. He is a pocket passer. He is gutty. As you can see, he's accurate. Also, Zach Moss, monster game. We thought Jonathan Taylor was going to be worked in. It seemed it was gradual. What happened? Zach Moss broke like a 70-yard touchdown run right away in the first half, and they never went back to Taylor after that. 6 for 18. Josh Downs, 6 for 97, had a nice game. Michael Pittman, 5 for 52. Slow start, but when Minshew comes in, Pittman becomes a good asset because he is able to be, he can have targets thrown to him where he needs them to be from Minshew, who is a professional quarterback. Other side, Tannehill, 23, 34, 264, an interception. The fact that he cannot have a touchdown here is very, very frustrating. Derrick Henry, 13 for 43, usually does well against the Colts, and he's great on turf. Not today. The Colts committed to stopping him. Tajay Spears, 7 for 34, had a touchdown, 4 for 35 as well. DeAndre Hopkins had the DeAndre Hopkins games, as Two Gun did in our FTN DFS show, and he put in his article. Yes, it was the DeAndre Hopkins game, 8 for 140. And Okongwu, as much as I love Okongwu, he's just not producing. There's not a lot of volume here, 5 for 33. I'd much rather have like a Dalton Schultz than an Okongwu. Dolphins 31, Giants 16, Tua Tagovailoa at 22 of 33 away, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. A-Chain, phenomenal. 11, 151 and 1, a fumble lost. He is the lead running back here. He's explosive. He's dynamic. And you know the head coach knows how to use him. It's been incredible. Raheem Mostert even got one in late. They're trying to work both of them together, and you know Mostert gets hurt, so they're actually using both of them here, which is good to keep them healthy. Tyreek Hill, death taxes, 8 for 181 and 1. Jalen Waddle got an early touchdown. Looks like he's going to have a monster game. Slowed down a little bit, 5 for 35 and 1. Daniel Jones, 14 of 21, 19. Terrible year for Daniel Jones. Got injured, left the game. Could be Tyrod Taylor next week. Could be better for the Giants. Gray, 12 for 25. Breida did nothing. Waller actually had a decent game, 8 for 86. At tight end, we'll take that. Darius Slayton just not getting open. They're not throwing downfield, 2 for 35. Saints 34, Patriots 0. Derek Carr, Two Gun was on this game. He said maybe the Patriots really aren't good, and he was right. Patriots, disaster. Derek Carr, 18 for 26, 183, and 2 touchdowns. He was sub 5K. If you played him DFS, nice job. Alvin Kamara, 22, 80, and 1. Michael Thomas, 4 for 65, and Olave, who was shown on social media possibly injured pre-game doing some warm-ups, still managed a touchdown. Mac Jones, horrific. He should not start next week. Should be Bailey Zappi. 12 for 22, 110, 2 interceptions, a fumble loss. Terrible. Ramondre Stevenson, shout out here to Nelson Souza, our high-stakes expert who talked about fading him and putting him on the fade list. He was right. Stevenson, 8 for 24, terrible. Hasn't looked in shape, hasn't looked explosive, disaster. Zeke Elliott is doing better, 8 for 21, so basically the same rushing, but got 4 receptions for 17 yards. I think Elliott is the better play here, at least for the next few weeks. Kendrick Bourne, Devontae Parker, and Hunter Henry. Saints eliminate tight ends. They're phenomenal against tight ends. I didn't think they could do it on the road against Patriots, but they did. Hunter Henry had 0. And the last game here before we talk about Sunday night, Chiefs 27, Vikings 20. Patrick Mahomes 31 of 41, 281, 2 touchdowns. Pacheco scored. Kelsey, they struggled here with the Vikings. Actually did a decent job on him, but he did get 10 receptions and a late touchdown. And folks, enough of Sky Moore. I like Sky Moore. He's done. Marquez Valdez-Scantling's on the side of a milk carton. Rashee Rice is the best receiver. Mahomes is not having the 3-4 touchdown games because I don't think his receivers can get open. We know this is not a Russell Wilson situation. You know Patrick Mahomes will throw the ball into tight coverage. He doesn't have to see you open, but the only one who can get open here is Rashee Rice on a consistent basis. But Justin Watson is gone. No one is getting open here. So they're ripe for the picking, this team. I really believe they are. But Rashee Rice looks like he's the best receiver. Other side, Kirk Cousins, 29, 47, 284, and 2. Would have got over 300, but Justin Jefferson left with an injury, 3 for 28, a massive disaster here for Jefferson. No one holds down Jefferson, but the Chiefs actually did. Alexander Madison still looks like the lead back. Cam Akers didn't do much, 8 for 26, 2 for 20, and got a touchdown. Jordan Addison stepped up, got the touchdown here. TJ Hawkinson was just okay, and KJ Osborne gets more opportunities here, and that's what we like to see. Folks, there you go. No question. So we'll just head out of here. 15 minutes. Like I said, we go around FTN Fantasy every Sunday night. You come back here right after the Sunday Night Football game. I take you around the league. Folks, Mike Randle, FTN Fantasy, one-stop shop. What do you need? We have it here. We will catch you next Sunday.